Welcome back, everybody, to Stardew Valley here on Fantasy Farm. It's hard to believe we are almost at episode 100, but it is true. That is what we're at. High luck today, some extra speed, and with bombs unable to damage us at all. Today feels like a pretty good day to go mining. But first and foremost, let's see what's going on around the farm over here. We've got some mail going on, but before we do that, let's toss some extra bits and bobs into our lovely machine here, and let's see. Hello, I heard you're working on a very special challenge. I have the perfect solution to help you out. Meet me in the watery cave on Ginger Island, Fizz, Joja Special Services Division. The watery cave that is being referred to is the mushroom cave, as I've been calling it, you know, where you can potentially find some, where the guy that runs the island field office, where he was trapped, that's where they're referring to. We probably won't be going over there, and we certainly won't be using his services, because, as one expects with the implications of Joja, it's not nothing good. At least not if you're going for what is known as true perfection, as opposed to just a perfect run. So, do bear that in mind before you make any decisions. For now, though, we're going to go ahead and get routine done, as I've already kind of started it up here. And once routine is taken care of, we will figure out what to do with the rest of our day. So I will see you guys momentarily. Alright, we are back, and I think with the exception of this pumpkin and the mystic soup, pretty much everything else I have collected for the day, and of course the normal cranberries, which I've already put away, is going to be going into our shipping bin. Let's take a look. You guys don't need anything. The squid's doing fine. We could stand to catch more. And the lava eel is doing fine. We could catch one more for that as well. So now the question becomes, as I put this pumpkin away that I completely forgot about, what are we going to do with the rest of the day? We do have a couple mystery boxes we could open, but there's not really anything too terribly important that I need from a mystery box. So I am leaning towards the obvious solution of today seems like a pretty good, today seems like a pretty good day to go mining. So let's take a look how much we can do with bombs and mega bombs. I'm going to try to keep my gold or solar essences at about no lower than 50. That feels like a pretty good amount. And with the iron ore / coal, I'm going to move that over here so I can actually see the number a little bit better. And then I'm going to say we don't go any lower than probably about 75. There we go, for bombs. Those feel like pretty reasonable amounts to still keep plenty of that material on hand. We'll leave the mystic syrup in there. I almost said mystic soup, but no, we'll leave the mystic syrup in there. We also are going to want our spicy eels to help with our luck boost. I'll toss one of these in there on the way out. Is there anything else? We can't gift Leo again. We've gifted him twice this week. For animals, I do need to give Spike that golden animal cracker that I found, because that is still in here. So we'll do that real quick. Where are ya? That's Yoshi. That one is Spike. There we go. So now we'll have double dinosaur eggs. I almost said dragon eggs. Double dinosaur eggs from him pretty soon. That should be it for our animals, as again, you can't give the golden animal crackers to pigs, nor can you give it to your horse or your other farm animal. And everything else we're kind of waiting on, so I don't think there's too terribly much else. I don't want to plant anything on the farm, except for maybe some bok choy. I could do that. That might not be a terrible idea. Open-tilled soil 92. I don't know. I feel like our time is better spent just going to the Skull Cavern. So I think that's what I'm going to do instead. And I forgot to drop this off in the Geode Crusher, but luckily by the time I do that and come back, it'll be about time to head out. Thanks for the torches, selling those. The big prize from dropping those in is the bolt of cloth. Obviously, they're going to sell way more than the torches that are like 5G each, so you get like 15G out of it instead of like 560 something because of the artisan bonus, and even without that, they're still worth a fair amount. I do need to look into the desert trade a little bit more, see what all they've got for potential things that they can trade for, but I'm not going to worry about that right now. I don't really need that for anything, so that will probably end up getting sold. I should have put some of my tools away, but we're already here and I don't want to waste too much time, so let's just hop right on in here. What do I need to put away? I think these are just the two big things I need, so let's do it. Remember, defeating enemies does make things explode, and also it can give us gold, potentially, as well. That said, for the time being, first and foremost, would like that luck boost. With that taken care of, let's switch on over to our explosives. That we don't need to hide from, because again, bombs cannot damage us today. Ooh, Mystic Node. I'll take that. A magic quiver shoots a magic arrow at nearby enemies every 1.9 seconds, dealing 25 to 30 damage. This is yet another trinket, obviously. I don't really see a lot of people talk about this one, and typically when I'm looking up stuff and being like, hey, is this a good thing or not, if I'm not seeing it appear, that's probably not good news. That probably means it is a little bit not great. And we got an early on areas infested, so let's knock these guys out. Good news is, yep, we've got a pretty good chance for money. Also, another magic quiver, showing that you can see here there are different levels to these, and you can see 25 to 30 for every 1.9, 1.3, 14 to 19. So these trinkets do vary. They actually do have different levels to them. So if you pick one up and go, oh, that doesn't look that great, you might have just gotten a low level one, and one of the higher level ones could actually be relatively solid. I believe the one I'm running right now is level 3. I think they go as high as level 4, but I'm not completely certain on that. For now, I'm not too focused on those. I'm kind of just sticking with whatever I feel is best. I feel like I'm getting a decent amount, fittingly enough, as I just get more money. I feel like I'm getting a decent amount out of these thus far. Steel Falchion, Tipper Broadsword, a couple weapons in there. And so since I feel like they're doing decently well enough, yeah, these are not anything too terribly amazing to write home about. It is time for me to start throwing things away already. Let's get rid of the swords. I don't really need them. This can go, that can go, these can go. So let's say the coal, the omnigeodes, the iridium, more bombs, yes, would always be approved of. Even the iron ore would not be bad. More prismatic shards would be good. Anything we could sell for a decent amount of money would also be good. Bolts of cloth are also not bad. What is bad is not being able to find the staircase on a good luck day with a luck boost. Ah, that's why it's already active. I kind of don't like the fact that if it's already active, it's basically extremely hard to find a second one, when it seems like when they're not active already, it's not too terribly difficult to find another one. There have been many times where I've used a bomb or something to make a staircase appear, and then not only did one appear, like 2, 3, sometimes even 4 appeared. Where it's very clearly a case of, like, yeah, more than one can be on screen at any given time. Ooh, lots of enemies in here. Could we switch to my sword? Thanks. Bye. Oh, I've never liked rooms like this. They always are kind of not great. Anything? There we go. Get my health back up here. I'm not having much luck finding the shafts to jump down either. Which is rather odd. Not sure what's going on here today. Hello? Thank you. Some money and some spicy eels. That's pretty handy. We're not really doing big on resource grinding today. Today is more about just trying to make as much money as we can, however we can. So if we make it by slaying monsters and getting a couple thousand out of that, I would not hate that. Our big money makers right now are kind of all in the process of being done. All the farming stuff, that is. That ought to be a good spot. There we go. There's the staircase. Nope, away with you. Dice. Let's try about here. There we go, much better. Next, that's an enemy. It wouldn't be terrible to have the crab cakes. Ooh, I fell 15 levels. That's gonna leave a mark. I'm actually gonna eat both of these, I think, to gain the energy back. That does take away my luck, and I do want to reapply that, but we did already grab some spicy eel, so it's not too big of a loss. Plus, we've gotten how many of those crab cakes through just messing around in here, so it's not that big of a loss, honestly. I would rather have my health back at full. Frozen Tear. Don't see those too terribly often around this area. What else you got? Just want to grab those resources. We probably have a fair few Omni Geodes across the board at this point. Might be able to start trading those in for some of the bigger stuff the trader has. Oh, more of the crab cakes. Yeah, we don't need that. Nope. Not gonna fight that guy today, thanks. We don't really have a spot for that, but I can make a spot. We do have a warp totem now, which is also good. Don't think we have a spot for amethyst. So we'll do this. Ooh, treasure room. Hey, a white turban. And not really my style, but kind of cool. A fine white silk turban with blue trim. Annunciation is a thing. Ooh, there's a lot of enemies in here. Before we get it all out of hand, I'm going to toss that just long enough to drop these. Or maybe not just long enough to drop these. Man, there are a lot of you all of a sudden. What is going on? I found the party over here. Good grief. We brought all the friends today. I would still like to grab more of these resources. Put that out, I think. I feel like having the iron right now, because of crafting stuff, is more useful than having even the gold or the solar/void essences for the time being. So that's kind of why I'm sticking to mega bombs rather than just the regular bombs. Almost feel bad for that one, since he actively tried to run away. He was the only one that did. Let's see. Yeah, we'll get rid of the red mushrooms for a bomb. If I get the regular bombs, then, like, yeah, sure, those I'll go ahead and drop. But anything else? Sure. Ooh, okay. Now that I could see myself wearing. A dark cowboy hat. A cowboy hat in fashionable black. I actually do own a black cowboy hat, so that is fitting for me to wear it. Fell 6 levels. And if you're wondering, like, oh, is that just endorsing the stereotype? When they made us do a huge family photo, especially with my dad's side of the family that are very stereotype heavy, I intentionally dressed up to look like old school Southern cowboy, and it pretty much got it to a T. Oh, the dogs. No, not the dogs. I don't need the dogs. Send the dogs away, please. Okay, good. I think they're at least going to shut up now. They had somebody over there the other day that did not like the dogs. Like, somebody they knew that they invited over. And just, he was hilarious. I don't know who that guy is, but he is the best guy. Like, you just hear him be like, damn those dogs. Just over and over. He was so fed up with them. And I'm like, yeah, try sleeping when they're around. Ooh, there's a lot of you all of a sudden here. There's one, there's two. And there's three. I don't mind fighting those guys since they do tend to give pretty good drops of iridium. And also, they can clear the way for me. Yeah, there we go. We got 10 ore out of that. Catch me if you can, sucker. That one just up and left. He didn't want any part of that. Here we go. Time to start eating these. Ooh, actually, this would be a good time to use up this energy tonic. Very nice. Wait, did I not just... Oh, that was for energy, not for health. Well. It's probably fine. Let's see. Still have the luck boost going, so I don't really need to, drop those. So I guess I'll just eat a few of these, and we'll call it good. Yeah, I think 4 should probably be enough. That'll work. Very nice. Alright, that's where we'll head out, so good thing I came all the way here. Might as well make a little bit of money off of them, since I'm not going to keep them for anything. 7 levels, alright. Ooh, iridium bar, yeah, I am gonna want that. You come back here, I'm not done with you. Yeah, I'm just gonna drop the turban. I can't see myself wearing it or using it, and it's not worth anything anyway to me, in terms of selling price. Yeah, some extra rocks. Okay, moving on. Tons of those. You know what? We might go ahead and do it again here. There we go. This is a decent enough spot to drop this. Apparently it's not, I guess. Oh, that didn't get your attention, huh? How about that? There we go. you're just gonna try to telefrag me, huh? Alright. Oh, a lot of powder melon seeds here. I would rather have the fire quartz, though, to be perfectly honest with you. A lot of fire quartz here. What is going on with this floor? Alright, well, while we wait for you to catch up, let's do that. Hello? You have iridium and I would like it. Come on. Come back over here. There we go. Very nice. Those guys are pretty good consistently for giving you quite a bit. Don't need that. Don't need those. That's what I was trying to grab. Nope, no additional ones there. Alright. Also nice floor. Ooh, this could be a good spot for... Oh, we already have some bombs. Alright, well, we'll use these first. One right here, one right there. That's our way out. There's our enemy for the day. I like how much of a threat that bat seemed by comparison, just because the whatever it is, the serpent, the dragon, whatever you want to call it, just got one-shotted by a critical hit from the galaxy sword. Nice. Because to me, it always feels like the serpent is, like, the first true enemy that is obnoxious. Like, it sucks to get slowed down by the slime, sure, but they're not usually a threat other than taking that speed penalty. That's about the only real damage that they can cause. The serpents, however, can actually knock you out if you're not careful. So they're the first ones I'm like, oh gosh, it's these. Stone, I guess. I'd rather have the jade. We have plenty of stone back. We have stone at home, but the difference is we actually have stone at home. We've got like 4 full stacks of it, so we really don't need that much more. Not for the time being, anyway. If we needed it later, we could just get it later with some bombs, but we don't right now, so we're okay on that front. Remember, we've got the warp totem to get out, so I'm not worried about time quite as much here. Now we're just kind of running around looking for last minute, yep, stuff like that. A little extra money we can make, supplies we can earn. And I think that will do it. I'd consider that a pretty good win overall. I think we had a decent haul from all that. I'm going to be selling almost everything I've got here. The only exceptions are going to be the ore and the coal, obviously. Any kind of that stuff. The solar and void essences I want to keep. Obviously any bars. The jades I want to keep for trading. But I think just about everything else... Well, we can't sell those, but... about everything else here I'm going to go ahead and send off. In fact, I'm going to send most of these, I think. Because I really don't have any use for them. The Omni Geodes we'd rather break open. But all this stuff over here, I think we'll just go ahead and sell it. Including the quivers, I don't really find myself wanting for those. So we are just going to sell all of that. I guess the quivers we have to hang on to, and we'll sell them elsewhere for the time being. And there we go. Let's see how our day of mining did. We also got a cool hat, which is nice. Yeah, that's not too bad. This is what I mean by, like, a lot of it is just a waiting game, though, because, like, the cloth is 4,000 of that, and even taking off that 4,000, the farming, just doing the dailies, did more than the mining did, even though I feel like we made out pretty well with the mining. Now, granted, you could just sell iridium bars for money if you really, really needed to, but we don't really need to. This is sort of just a stalling for the next Monday to roll around, and it looks like we've got a Another good luck day with the blessing of luck. Yep, looks like we're doing it again. So nice, we did it twice. Alright, I'm going to put this stuff up this time since I actually don't need it for anything, especially not since it's raining. I definitely don't need it. Other than that, though, I think we'll be doing more of the same. So after I put all of this up, there's something I was going to pull out of here, and now I don't know what it was. So that's probably not a good thing, for my memory's sake. First, we've got mail, though. Delta made you a little treat this morning from the saloon. Dig in, your friend Gus. He's too good to us, I'm telling you. I'm going to go ahead and sell it, though, only because I would rather have the money right now. So yes, I'm going to do the routine once again, and then I will see you back here once that is all said and done. Alright, we are back, and this is what I'm dumping off. Just a little bit of everything, including some of the eggs, the squid ink, the truffles, the roe. And the only real thing to make note of, or to make mention of, is, first and foremost, I did make more preserves jars. I left some, and I do mean some, of the wood that we collected, but admittedly, I did not leave a lot. I'm not gonna lie, we did not have a huge amount of it left, probably about 350 pieces, give or take. I'm gonna switch this to over here, just so it's easier to keep track of. But this will give us more cranberries, which will be a nice little bonus here. So we're going to get these all taken care of here. And then with that, we should be able to head right back into the mines again. And depending on how we're doing with solar and void essences and gold, I will make some more mega bombs for our upcoming journey here. I think I got them all. If not, I got most of them. So yep, we are slowly but steadily stockpiling that. The other thing to make note of, this is not the right thing, that is also an important thing to make note of, is the ancient fruit that those are now growing. Most of them are like fully growing, 330 by the way, in the garden, in the greenhouse rather, and since they are doing so, I might start doing batches of ancient fruit wine instead of star fruit, or on top of star fruit, kind of depending on what I have more of, what I'm waiting for it to grow, and if I need to transfer the star fruit over from the island. So, let's see here. With what we've got, I'm comfortable with that. I'd rather leave the coal at about where it is. I wanted to stop with about 50 for the coal. This was how much wood we had left, by the way. Oh, I thought it was 350. It was about 450, my mistake. But that's still decently low, all things considered, so I do want to be careful. Meanwhile, in the idea of all the gems, I'm going to try to drop everything down to either 20 or 10, depending on its usefulness, just to have some additional things that I've been selling. The jade's going to obviously not count towards part of that. And the rubies are not as well, as when we start to forge the sword, if we do need these, this is the one that buffs offense, so that would be the one that I would want to keep. So this should just be a little bit of extra income that we'll have in addition to everything else. I think that is about all we need. I do have spicy eel. Okay. I was going to say I don't have any left. I thought I didn't have any left, but no, I do. So because of that, we'll take one of those to boost our luck. Again, I could go do the golden mystery boxes. I feel like our time is better off going to be, or is going to be better off spent, rather. Again, going through the mines and working on getting resources and income there. With this, we should definitely, hopefully, have more than enough iridium to basically iridium sprinkler both the farm and the island farm completely, and that should take care of that for pretty much always, as you can't really go higher. You can add those little attachments to the sprinklers to get more out of them that way, but that wouldn't mean replacing the sprinkler, that's just adding the piece onto it. So, for now, let's go ahead and hop on inside the mines once again. Let's move the bombs up here as well. Also, +1 for ore nodes is what we've got, so I might focus. I'm not going to say heavily on nodes, but like, if I see one and it's on the way there, yeah, I'll probably pick it up. If not, it's not a big deal. So something like this. Considering how fast we can mine those, I mean, you might as well. See if we Get you both up here. There we go. Perfect. Ooh, we're getting another sort of star-shaped room here. All right. Pretty sure that guy technically hit me there, but the game didn't count it as such, so... Oh well. Speaking of O, there's an O and an H. Fell 5 levels. Alright. I'm just going to tank the hit, personally, I think. A lot of gemstones in here. More than I'm used to seeing. I know it's a high luck day, so... Yeah, so... Grants you a low chance, grants you a high chance. There you go. Level 1 versus level 3. Obviously, I would much rather keep the one that I've already been using. He's been doing a pretty good job, all things considered. At one point, I was like, he's not doing all that hot. Not really giving me a lot of money. But on good luck days, it seems like that also... I don't actually think it affects the trinkets, but it feels like it does. Oh, I probably went the wrong way here. Oh, nope, we're good. We're good. Area's overrun with monsters. That's a lot of words. Too bad I'm not gonna read them. Again, more powder melon seeds. Hello. Is there something with which I can assist you? This should be a good enough spot. Or I could be full of it. Alright, let's try over here. There we go, much better. I know that was just the mummy essentially stopping because I was out of his range, but it looked really funny as if he just was like, huh? He's not supposed to blow me up until I've already gotten knocked over. Ooh, that was a nasty hit there. Oh well. Just heal through that a tiny bit, I think. Not a ton. I'll go ahead and eat these two, just for the sake of getting them out of my inventory. I think once upon a time, those were so useful because of the energy they'd give you. Though they still can't match the regular carrots. I will look forward to being able to have more of those again to grow, mostly for upping the speed of the horse. But yeah, that's definitely one of, like, you can see early game that those are absolutely phenomenal. Hello, Mr. Enemy. Oh, no, that is a real one. Okay. I thought for sure that was going to be an enemy. Take the stone. Take the jump. 8 levels, not too bad. Ah, there's the enemy. Hello. Actually, before I kill you. There we go. Treasure room with some artifact troves that I don't really need. I would not hate to see an auto-petter pop up in one of these so that we could put that in the barn on top of the one we've already got in the coop. It would be handy to have a second one of those. So if I need to spend a lot of time and just not focus too much on the routine because of some of the key challenges, because yes, they do eat up that much time, then it would be handy to have that. It's probably gonna be a better spot. Oh no, there is a hole here. That said, I would like that bomb, so let's throw some of the more useless stuff away. Just do this all ahead of time. Oops, well, we can pick that back up. I meant to trash it. This is what I mean about, like, the trash can's okay for its boost for Iridium, but you can see why you'd want to do that last. Like, it's nice to get the little extra small profit out of it, but it's not going to be, like, life-changing in your game or anything. It's not the difference. Well, I mean, it could be the difference between getting upgraded and not, but probably it's not going to. And if the difference is that minuscule, you should probably earn a little bit more money before buying whatever it is you were going to buy. It's just, you know. How much time we have left on this? About 2 minutes. Yeah, we should probably be okay there. We'll eat it again to up our luck again, and that'll give us some health that way. Oh, not one of these again. Alright, fine. Let's try to get out of here as fast as we can. It probably also doesn't help that most of the time there's not typically a great spot to drop a bomb, even a mega bomb in here. They're just... The rocks are too spread far apart that there's not a great area for them. Come on down. There we go. As for you... I think one of those just chain destructioned its friend over there. It exploded, and the other one had low enough health that when it took damage from that, it was also defeated and exploded. Weird to think that there was an episode of Yu-Gi-Oh! Where chain destruction was what caused Yu-Gi to win, when in real life it's like, yeah, card's really not that helpful. Of course, these days in modern Yu-Gi-Oh! Anything that puts a card in the opponent's graveyard typically is not going to be too terribly useful, because there's so many ways to get it back out of the graveyard, or it gets some good effect from being in the graveyard that you're better off not doing that. That's been as far back as the original, though. The big ones coming to mind being Beast of Gilfer, that would drop an opponent's monster's attack by 500 once it was sent to the graveyard. And one of Jaden's from GX, which was Elemental Hero Necroshade. Which was, if this card gets sent to the graveyard, you can summon a monster once without a sacrifice if it would need it normally. That was pretty much the only time you ever saw Necroshade until later in the seasons, where sometimes he would fuse with some stuff to get, like, Necroid Shaman or whatever, but most of the time, yeah, it was just immediately tossed in the graveyard for its effect. Any extra money here, perhaps? Yeah, a little bit. Let's very quickly grab that. Yeah, close enough. Bye-bye. Alright, sorry about that cut. I had to switch headphones, and I also figured while I was here I could switch some stuff around just to get an idea of how my ore situation was looking. Also, at some point, we picked up this. A blue-green frog egg summons a hungry frog companion. What does this mean by hungry frog companion? It means that every now and again, it'll just eat an enemy and kill them. Still useful, but I still personally prefer the money drops at this point now, where we're kind of getting to the issue of where money is going to be pretty much the only thing we're really going for, is just trying to get more money. Having stuff like that happen, where you can get 500, 1,000, 250, whatever, gold, ooh, a Rex, will definitely be a very helpful boon. We haven't gotten to kill one of those in a hot minute there. Glad to see one, because we do still need that for the Monster Slayer goal. It's the only thing we have left. I am going to go ahead and drink this. There we go. Oh, that's just iron. I thought that was iridium, and if that had been the case, I would have gone for it, but it was not, so... I'm well aware we probably have the staircase by now, but those are some good drops there. Genie shoes, I think we've seen those before. Very high immunity, very low defense. And if I was worried about immunity, that would be something I would consider. But since I'm not really, I think we'll be okay without. Ooh, prismatic. Yes, excellent. I was hoping we'd find at least one of those. Yeah, we have space. A red slime egg. Have we run across a slime egg yet? I don't think we have, actually. Can be hatched in a slime incubator. We've had the crafting recipe for this sucker for a good long while. Here it is. Hatches slime eggs into slimes. Allows you to raise slimes outdoors. This will be something we do eventually. Admittedly, I don't know much about it off the top of my head. And exactly how all of that works. I don't know, it's still Greek to me, so... As a result, don't expect to see that getting used for a fair amount of time, but I will definitely hang on to that slime egg. I have no plans to sell it, so that is the only thing you need to know about that right now. Let's quickly grab these. Remember, we are getting the +1 from the nodes, so... Cherry sapling, we need to plant another one, and we already have one, though, so probably we'll just toss that, ultimately. This card will never be seen, never be used, and ultimately sacrificed for them doing this. If you don't watch the, was X about to defeat Y characters from a guy on YouTube that does them, they're very, very good. Fitting, since we were talking about Yu-Gi-Oh! He recently did, at least at the time of this, which will show you how far back in time this one is. It was Alistair about to defeat Sartorius in Yu-Gi-Oh! GX Season 2. Which is pretty much toward the end of the season. Let's see. We still good on luck. Trying to think what we could toss to make space for doing some more of these. No dice on that one, huh? Alright, well, we'll grab what's here and knock this guy out. Yes, give me your monies. I'd rather have your iridium. But I mean, if you'll drop money, too, I'm not gonna say no to that. Keep swinging, baby. I would like to get that other bat, though. These can go. Nice. It's not a great spot for it, but I was too lazy to dig it up, and you know what? We got the ladder anyway. That's the important thing. Any good spots here? Eh, it's passable, I guess. It worked, though I will admit that was nothing to write home about. Let's see what we got here. Another 4 levels. Alright. Yeah, we're coming out of it both of these days with over 100 iridium ore, so I would consider this pretty successful, all things considered. I know most people that are playing are like, oh, at this point you should probably be like way, way ahead of that. You should be getting like 500 per day. You're doing it completely and totally wrong. You should use all that stone you have for staircases. And, like, if I knew that I needed to get an insanely high number, then sure. But also, there's still stuff to craft, stuff to upgrade, and if I had all the, like, every item crafted for that achievement, then I probably wouldn't be as worried about it. But you never know. Plus, we're still using it for the preserves jars, if nothing else. Yeah, we're gonna have to craft another one here. This is gonna hit pretty hard, so I need to get myself back up to full, because I'm gonna be tackling a lot of mummies pretty much right after this thing goes off. It is not happy about the fact that I am not letting it go off. I'm gonna get one more. And then I'm gonna craft one more, because I'm gonna need one more. There we go. Lots of bolts of cloth. And 1,000 G, so that's also a plus. I'd rather hang on to that because that is worth a good amount of money, actually. What can I get rid of here? We'll get rid of the miner's treat. I don't really need multiple of these. I'll just take the one, I guess. Sure, we'll toss those in here. Now I'm kind of at the point where it's late enough in the day where I don't really feel like I need to craft another bomb. He says as he's about to go craft another bomb. At this point, the ore is just more important. And we're doing really good on iron ore now, which is a very good thing because we were not super high on that. Part of that was from bomb making. Part of it was just in general. We didn't have a lot to begin with. Check all those out. 1750 G. Wow, very nice. Ooh, that would almost be worth it if it wasn't for the fact it's just... would only need it for the supplies. The sap can go. Cave carrots can go. Yeah, I think we're about... oh, I don't have a warp totem to get out of here. Shoot. I don't think I can craft one either. I thought I had one, but I did not. Well, I goofed on that one. We'll just take 1,000 G of a penalty, I suppose, though. Like, you're not gonna... the only way you lose your items is if you die in the mines. I didn't even bring my hoe. I can't even grab that. Well, that's a shame. Well, since you're here, my trader, anything I could grab? Yeah, not really. Not anything I really care about. 658 for 3 aquamarine. How much are the aquamarines? So the bolt of cloth actually is worth more. So yeah. Due to the fact that solely because it costs more. Yeah, that is a good trade. Yeah, at some point we could get that magic turban. I'd rather get the magic cowboy hat, though, if I was to use a cowboy hat that was not this one. Is there anything worth sacrificing for a coconut? That probably was. 180. Yeah, 200. So yeah, we'll lose 1,000 G from that, but ultimately I think that will be well worth tomorrow's. During the night, Billy gave birth to a baby goat. Oh, that's right. I didn't turn that off, and I'm okay with that, actually. If you have more than one of any farm animal type, well, not any farm animal, but for most of the farm animals, if you've got more than one, they have a chance to give birth to a baby, you know, whatever animal that is. So now we have another goat on the farm. I'm not naming my baby goat Snatch. That's disgusting. Ooh, what do we think? I'm trying to, like, look around my room for inspiration here. Sure, that'll work. So yeah, that was all from stuff that we didn't even take out of our pockets to donate. So we made a pretty good amount there, I would say. Another 45,000. Probably have at least another couple thousand in our hands right now. But right now will be another day. We will see you guys next time for episode 100 of Stardew Valley, which will be very exciting. What does our fortune look like for episode 100? It's bad! Oh, that's such a good sign. I was really hoping it wasn't going to be good, because that's more funny than anything. Alright. thank you all for watching. Yeah, we're going to be over here now. And next time on Stardew Valley, obviously we'll be doing a routine and cashing all this in for money. And I do believe by this point, Pam's house is done. So on episode 100, we'll get to see what that looks like. That'll be pretty cool. Until then, I will see you all in the next one. Later.